Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm with Hill Mechanical. We're the largest mechanical contractor in the Midwest, plumbing, piping. I am on the project management and retrofit side of the business. We've been using Leonard Valve, the Nucleus system, for years now, working with inland sales. They've come out to jobs, help us specify things. Again, it's a lot of retrofits, hotels, hospitals, medical buildings. It's really been a great asset for us and set us apart from the competition.
Hi, I'm Martin with Hill Mechanical, their lead service plumber. I've been installing Leonard valves for quite some time. The proton valve I've had a lot of experience with. It is surprisingly one of the easiest valves I've had to install. I've done all the big name brands. Leonard's the easiest, in my opinion, the best. I try, if a customer asks me about their valves, I always try to push for the Leonard digital valve, whether it's the Proton or the Nucleus.
From the install perspective, the plumbers love it because a lot of times we're working at night. We're doing night shutdowns. Supply houses aren't open. We don't have a lot of opportunities to fix errors. And by the end of the shutdown, 2, 3, 4 a.m., they turn it on, they plug it in, and everything just works. The installation of the Nucleus system is incredibly easy for the field personnel.
It's very easy to make sure it's working. It's got a nice digital readout that it usually will just go up or down 1 to 2 degrees from the set point, which is awesome. I mean, the response out of the valve is great, as opposed to a mechanical valve, which would take a little time to balance out and get to an even temperature.
It allows for the on-site staff to be much more confident that the system is working. The digital readout of the temperature, you're not relying on old manual gauges that sometimes may or may not be accurate. Quite honestly, a few of the buildings that we've gone back to years later, I've ran into the people we installed them for, and I asked them about it, and it's more or less out of sight, out of mind. They know it's working. They'll check the temperatures every now and then when they walk by, but they've had zero issues with it. When you compare that relative to the old way of doing things with a manual valve, it's night and day. It's absolute night and day from so many different angles, and it really just provides excellent value for the owner, the customer, the property manager, the tenants, and the plumbers, from so many different aspects that I don't even recommend or even quote manual valves anymore unless it's actually specified or required, because again, on the retrofit side that I work on, it's such a game changer. It makes it so much easier. New construction may not have some of the challenges that I run into, but there's nothing worse than spending so much money and trying to guarantee a project as much as you can just to have a whole bunch of trouble come up and having to requote things or send people back out or tell somebody that they have to spend so much more money to fix a problem that they thought they solved.
A lot of problems with other brands, especially mechanical brands, is balancing that return line, because part of it needs to go back to the storage tank and part of it needs to be pushed through the valve. With the Leonard, you just pipe a part of it going that way and part of it going to the storage tank and part of it going through the valve. It self-balances. When it needs the return, it uses it, and if not, it's pushed back to the tank. There's no circuit setters or throttling ball valves. You just turn it on, and as long as you have a good return, it works.
We've had some customers tie the system into their building management system. They monitor temperatures remotely. That gives them a peace of mind. We use them sometimes in data centers where there's superior critical equipment that needs constant monitoring, and they program in automations to send out alerts to different chief engineers and techs on site, which again provides them a peace of mind in such a critical environment as a data center. A lot of times people making decisions on which projects go forward have trouble getting money to troubleshoot items after the fact. And it can really start to cause problems as to who's paying for it. Even though I knew I excluded it and we had those discussions, it's something like using a Nucleus valve that is just provides a lot of confidence in everything that I do.
The great thing I like about the Leonard digital valve is it's self-cleaning, which is a big issue. We have different areas of Chicagoland that have different types of water, and if a valve isn't maintained very well, it can stick and have problems. And the Leonard valve does a full sweep cleaning every day, and it makes a huge difference in the longevity of the valve and the amount of problems that you have with a valve that just works in a small amount of travel. If it ever goes outside that travel, it can hang up, whereas the Leonard always every day will go the full sweep of the travel, which helps keep it from building up minerals and jamming up down the line.
For the on-site staff that don't have a lot of training, the system provides very easy operability to be able to change the temperatures. It's just a few buttons. There's alerts, there's lights if something should go wrong.
The good thing about this too, this valve, is the control panel is very simple to make temperature adjustments. If they decide for whatever reason to raise or lower the temperature, it can be done with a couple hits of the button. No laptops needed like I've seen with other valves. It's all done from the control box. There's no, like I said, you don't have to plug in a laptop. I know other brands, other digital valves, you have to plug in a laptop and you need their software or you need these different things. Everything can be done from the user interface on the panel. It's very simple, very intuitive. Because the valve can regulate the temperature so well, they can store the temperature of the water at a higher temperature safely. And when doing that, it will kill off Legionella. And you can confidently do that with this valve because you know when you plug it in, turn it on, it's just gonna work. I, being a service plumber, have serviced all kinds of different valves, and I have had to take this one apart before because of a building issue, and it's very simple to disassemble and reassemble. There's very few parts for it to make it work.
In my role at Hill Mechanical on the project management and specification side for retrofit buildings, Leonard valve and the Nucleus system is the only valve that I will consistently choose to work with due to its ease of use and customer satisfaction.
Here at Hill Mechanical, we use Leonard valves because there's no callbacks and the valve just works.